The bill we're introducing today is called the Bright Futures Act. Its purpose and objective is to help people in rural and low-income areas in our state connect to the economic development opportunities that are in the emerging markets of the 21st century. These markets include broadband-enabled services, retail online services, Internet of Things, grid power, healthcare, and training and education. And together they form the acronym BRIGHT. We believe that the best recipe for economic development in rural and low-income areas in North Carolina is to connect the people in those areas to the opportunities represented by these bright markets. And the purpose of this act is to do just that. It focuses the programs and resources of the state and our state agencies on ways for North Carolina to establish a leadership position in these bright markets, not only in our urban areas, but particularly in our rural areas. It clarifies the existing statutory provisions for public-private partnerships so that they can be used to develop the digital infrastructure for unserved and underserved populations. And finally, the bill directs the Department of Commerce to advise the General Assembly about how we might consider new investment models that can accelerate our efforts to establish a leadership position in these bright markets. As a state, we can be proud of our many core assets and capabilities that position us to take advantage of these bright markets. Yet with all these accomplishments and capabilities, we also face severe challenges. I don't know that everybody knows that North Carolina has 3.3 million rural residents, which is the second largest rural population among states, second only to Texas. Many of these people are currently not able to connect to the same quality digital infrastructure and gigabit internet speeds now being introduced in areas like Charlotte and Raleigh. And for those in rural or low-income areas, high-speed broadband is either not available at all or not affordable. For example, one of my constituents wanted to start a video business in his town, in the town of Linden. He spent about $10,000 setting it up. He called the local provider which he had been assured would be able to hook him up with the speed broadband he needed. They came out, they couldn't do it. He had to move his business from Linden into Fayetteville. Things like that are exactly what this bill is designed to overcome. It's not acceptable for people in areas like in my district in Linden or any other rural area to be limited in their opportunities because some companies have not yet determined that it's either cost effective or profitable to serve them. And we just can't afford to leave our rural areas behind in the gigabit revolution. We're introducing the Bright Futures Act to close these gaps in infrastructure and service and to empower people in rural and low-income areas to participate in these markets. And the Lieutenant Governor and I were on a National Science Foundation panel together around this time last year. Jointly, we began to take a serious look at how we could take action to connect people in rural and low-income areas to these new opportunities. And I was pleased when the General Assembly provided a grant in aid to leaders in Fayetteville and Cumberland County to begin working on ways to do this. I might add that we're joined here today by Councilman Kirk Deviere, who's been a leader in the Fayetteville area. He's a councilman down there that has been assisting us in these areas as well. Since beginning the work on the Bright Futures Act, we've quickly won support from the League of Municipalities, other groups, and the North Carolina Association of County Commissioners is studying it very hard right now, and I think that they're going to come on board in support of this as well. I'm very optimistic that my colleagues on both sides of the aisle in the General Assembly and the Governor will similarly support the Bright Futures Act so that we can quickly connect all people across this great state to this wonderful bright future.